Welcome to the Wise Eats podcast. For more on this episode, head over to wise-eats.com/episode 13. That's where you'll find the YouTube video, transcripts, pictures, recipe videos, and more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment or question. Also, be sure to sign up for my free newsletter and instantly receive the complete list of Wise Eats approved foods, drinks, and supplements. Now let's get right into part 2 of the Wise Eats diet plan. It's time to wise up.
I'm going to show you how to do the Olive Garden breadstick Post Malone style.
Well, hello again, wise guys and gals, and welcome to episode 13 of Wise Eats. Today, it's part 2 of the Wise Eats diet plan, and I'll be talking more about exactly the types of foods you want to eat to lose body fat, build lean muscle, and optimize your life. I'm going to be talking about macros, cooking, supplements, and then I'll actually run through a typical diet day for me for optimized performance. If you missed part 1, head over to wise-eats.com/episode 12 and check it out. I talked about the Wise Eats diet philosophy, grocery shopping, and a whole bunch more. So definitely go check that out. So the first thing I want to talk about are macronutrients, just in case you're new to the whole diet thing like I was back in the day. There's 3 basic macronutrients: protein, fat, and carbohydrate. I think most of us know that. Your diet should include varying amounts of each of these macros depending on your goals. In general, your calorie intake should be made up of about 15 to 20% fat, 30 to 40% protein, and 30 to 50% carbohydrate.
Why do we eat carbohydrates? We eat carbohydrates simply so they can be stored as glycogen for later use as glucose.
Okay, so I just turned 36. I'm 6 foot tall. Right now I'm about 185 pounds, and I have a very active lifestyle. I'm lifting weights 3 to 5 days a week, and I stay very active on my off days. So in order to maintain my current weight, I need around 2,900 calories a day, and obviously that's going to fluctuate. Now, in order to gain weight, I want to bump that up to right about 3,200 calories a day. In order to lose body fat, I want to drop that to about 2,600 calories a day. So obviously your body has different requirements than mine, and these numbers are just estimates, but they are a good place to start. And there's a lot of different places you can go to find out exactly what you need. So just Google like calorie or macronutrient calculator, and you'll find something. You just punch in some of your info, and it'll spit out some numbers. And those are just basic guidelines for you to follow to start. From there, you want to kind of track your intake, see how your body is responding, and then change it from there. And that's, in a nutshell, how you can figure out where you're at with your macronutrient situation.
This is the only way to go, Mean Gene. You're in strict training. We gotta watch your diet. We gotta make sure you don't get overloaded with all those carbohydrates.
So in part 1, I talked quite a bit about carbs and my favorite sources, which are fruits, vegetables, jasmine rice, potatoes, and oats. Carbohydrates are like a bad word nowadays because keto is the hotness, but I believe that healthy, active individuals should be eating carbs, period. And I love eating carbs. I feel amazing when I have them. They give me energy, and that's just my preference. That's not to say that there aren't benefits to the keto diet. I understand that it can help curb cravings and actually provide some mental clarity when you're following the diet. And it does result in some rapid weight loss initially, but often that's only temporary. And there's often a massive rebound effect that happens when you come off the diet, where your cravings intensify and your appetite skyrockets. And I'm not speaking on that from personal experience. The bottom line for me is that The fitness and nutrition experts that I follow don't recommend keto. A healthy balance of all the macronutrients coming from real food with good sleep, exercise, and stress management are all you need. But if you're interested in keto and you want to try it out and it's working for you, fantastic. But I don't think you should be worried about whether you're on keto or Atkins or paleo or carnivore. If you're not eating at least 3 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, or going for walks, solid sleep, staying hydrated, meditating, and eliminating processed foods and sugar. Try that diet first. Then let's talk about keto after that. But whatever. It's a free country. Do whatever you want. I just think if you're doing those fundamental things, it really doesn't matter what diet you're following.
Hashtag I eat carbs, baby.
All right, so let's get into proteins and fats. Protein is extremely important if you want to lose body fat and build muscle. And my first recommendation to any person that's looking to improve their health or lose weight or change their body is to increase their protein intake. Now, I always make sure that I hit my protein intake for the day, whereas my fat and carbohydrate amounts will fluctuate.
Muscle milk, HGH, protein, power bars.
There's a lot of ways to get your protein. My favorite sources right now are chicken, eggs, sardines. I was messing with tofu for a little while just to try it out, but I read a lot of stuff about estrogen on tofu, so that's really not my gig. But also Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and whey protein isolate, which is obviously highly processed, but protein shakes are pretty tasty, and hey, it's a shortcut, but it's a good way to get your protein in also, in the absence of real food.
No carbs, no fat, nothing but pure protein, bro. You know, this is the eye of the Hulkster, man.
So for dietary fat, I try to keep that as low as possible because it's really easy to overdo it. And it's extremely healthy for you, but it's also the macro that's most easily converted into body fat. So you have to be careful with it. My favorite sources are avocado oil, olive oil, peanut butter, feta cheese, sardines, walnuts, and I also use flaxseed and chia seed a lot.
We got hemp seed, chia seed. We love the seeds. Monosodium glutamate, buttermilk. Wake up!
So balancing these 3 macronutrients is critical for accomplishing your fitness goals as efficiently as possible. When I originally lost 90 pounds, I focused strictly on overall calorie intake. I wasn't really focused on macronutrients at all, really. I probably stepped up my protein and then just focused on calorie restriction, and it worked. Lost a ton of weight, but once I got sick and I was just skinny, and I decided to really focus on health and longevity and building muscle, then macronutrient amounts became a lot more important. That's when I started focusing on them. If you understand your macro needs ahead of time, it's going to give you a huge advantage going into whatever kind of diet program you're on. Personally, I aim for anywhere from 40 to 60 grams of fat a day. I keep my protein about 1 gram per pound of body weight, so right around 200 grams, maybe a little bit more just to make sure. And then the rest of it is made up of healthy carbohydrates.
Lord knows the way to a girl's heart is through carbs.
Now let's talk cooking. Everything we prepare is done in the oven, on the stove, or in our BlendTech blender. We don't have any fancy gizmos or microwaves. We actually got rid of our microwave years ago. We either heat everything up on the stove, in the oven, or I'm crazy. I'll eat it cold. Every single day I have cold lunch at work because I don't use the microwaves. I just bring in my prepared lunch and just eat it right out of the refrigerator. So, hey, sometimes food is better when it's cold. Don't hate. For high temperature cooking, we use olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. You want to avoid refined vegetable oils as much as possible because they're inflammatory and they're low in omega-3s. And you're going to run into those a lot when you're eating out, so be careful of that.
These vegetable oils that the restaurants use cause inflammation, which will give you cancer and disease.
We can weed through all the trash.
One tactic that I'm a big fan of is batch cooking. Obviously, we're all super busy, so get the most out of your time in the kitchen by multitasking. I'll get I'll get some potatoes, throw those in the oven. Get some chicken breasts, have those in the oven as well. While those are going, I'll steam some rice, I'll steam some vegetables, have all that going at the same time. By preparing ahead of time, your meals are always ready to go, leaving you no excuse to eat out or buy from the catering truck or that vending machine. Get rid of that junk.
Not buying candy bars out of the vending machine, or eating that pizza that the company bought, or getting Jimmy John's delivery, eating real food.
So once you have food prepared, sticking to your diet goals is a breeze. Open up the refrigerator, take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, throw it on the stove, mix it all together, heat it up, and you can add some avocado oil or some fresh greens for a quick, easy, healthy meal at any time. 1 hour or so of preparation can lead to several days worth of meals. Most of the time, my lunches and dinners are just mixtures of stuff I already have prepared and ready to go. A couple of recipes you might want to check out are the Chicken Wise rice and the Chokeslam chicken salad. And I'll be adding more as we go along.
And that's the Chokeslam chicken salad. Next time you're in the kitchen, make a wise choice.
One more thing I want to cover briefly is supplements. And the bottom line on supplements is that you really don't need them. The best supplement that you can take is a diet that's rich in healthy, whole foods and earth-grown nutrients. And I know that's not the sexy answer, but it's 100% true. Supplement companies are not going to get rich selling you kale or olive oil. And that's why so many different pills and powders exist. So block all that fancy marketing junk out of your mind and know that real food is the supplement that actually works. That said, supplements can help you achieve your goals more quickly and conveniently. So there are some that I use, and because I'm lifting weights often, I take a Whey Protein Isolate. I also use pea protein and casein protein. My favorite brands are Naked and Legion Athletics. Legion Athletics has an awesome vanilla whey isolate. We put it in like all of our shakes. It's so good, and you don't have to add any other sweeteners or anything. It's naturally sweetened and flavored and all that.
Fucking protein! Where's the goddamn protein, Mom? Told you to get me some protein!
So I'm lifting weights most of the time. I take 5 grams of creatine a day in cycles. Sometimes I'll take it for a couple months and then I'll stop for a little while, then pick it back up. Anytime I'm looking to try to build some strength, that's when I get back on the creatine. And that helps to speed muscle growth and recovery. When it comes to pre-workouts, my all-time favorite pre-workout is a black coffee, maybe with some MCT oil. Most other pre-workout supplements are just overhyped, overpriced junk that's loaded with chemicals and BS. So once in a while, I'll use Legion Athletics Pulse. And if you're really dead set on taking a pre-workout, that's the one that I recommend. I try to stay away from it most of the time because the stimulants in it kind of affect my sleep sometimes. But it tastes good, gets me psyched up before a workout. So every once in a while I'll throw it in, but like I said, most of the time it's just some coffee. So if you are going to go with a pre-workout, beware of ingredients and definitely go with a company that you trust because you'll never know what they're slipping in that stuff.
The only pre-workout supplement I need is a half gallon of purified water and a cup of hot coffee. And that's exactly what we're brewing up today in West Daddy's kitchen.
Other supplements I recommend are multivitamins, fish oil, and vitamin D. Sometimes before bed, I'll take a broccoli sprout tablet or some magnesium. But most of all these nutrients can be covered through a healthy diet. I'm eating a lot of canned sardines, so I'm getting my fish oil right there. Open up a can of sardines, boom, they're good.
Well, I'll tell you, Hulk, I'm afraid I saw you just woof it down. I'm afraid I'd lose it.
Okay, so to give you an idea of the Wise Eats diet plan in practice, let me run you through a typical day for me as it relates to diet. Very first thing I do when I get up is get hydrated, slam a big thing of water down. After I get fully hydrated, I'll have some black coffee, maybe with some MCT oil in it. Then I'll go for a fasted walk or do some foam rolling or a core workout or just some stretching. In case you haven't noticed yet, I'm a big fan of coffee. So if you want, head over to wise-eats.com/coffee and you'll see some of my favorite blends there. So my first meal of the day is usually some scrambled eggs with either vegetable, potato, or rice, and some spices. If I skip on that, I'll do a salad, a smoothie, or a power oatmeal. I know somebody just said a salad for breakfast. Heck yeah, I will have me a salad for breakfast. I'll have a salad for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as a matter of fact. So get at me on that. But whatever the meal is, I always plan it ahead of time, especially if I know I'm going to be on the go. And that's why food prep is so important, because if you don't give yourself healthy meals to choose from, you're going to end up in a situation where you're starved with nothing on hand, and that's going to force you into poor diet choices. And that's not going to be anybody else's fault but your own. So take control and be accountable.
Get that coffee out of your mouth. We're going to start out on the right foot. I'll make you breakfast. Just stay right there.
So that covers breakfast. And lunches and dinners are pretty interchangeable. For me, it's typically a salad made with spinach or kale, mixed with a lean protein like chicken, sardines, or salmon. And I got a whole list of different things I'll throw on a salad, but just for example, fresh onion, feta cheese, tomato, beans, cucumber, pickles, olives, dried cranberries, hemp seed. For dressing, we'll use olive oil, liquid aminos, balsamic vinegar, salsa, or even some pasta sauce. And sometimes I don't use dressing at all. I'll throw on some fresh fruit, like some apples or blueberry, and just the fruit alone is good enough to sweeten the salad up a little bit. It's so good.
Would you like some fresh Parmesan cheese on top?
You know what? I like croutons. Can I just get a laundry basket of croutons?
Salads are awesome because you can rotate so many different ingredients to get a variety of flavors, all while getting the benefits of a whole bunch of different nutrient profiles and all your major dietary needs in one meal. Now, I used to think of salad as just a pile of iceberg lettuce salad with some croutons and some shredded cheddar cheese, maybe a cucumber slice, and just a pile of ranch dressing. But those days are long gone. Salads, to me, are their life. And they're your one-way ticket to better health if you make them a staple in your diet and get creative with the ingredients.
Feel free to just dip in whenever you want.
Aside from salad, we'll do some type of stir fry or ground turkey chili. And for our sides, we have baked potato, quinoa, or rice. So if you want to get an idea of some of these meals in action, head over to wise-eats.com/recipes, and you'll find a complete list of recipes broken down by category.
Today, we're making dessert. Nutritious dessert, faster biker, banana bread.
Finally, let's talk dessert. I have a bunch of recipes over on the website like banana bread, coconut oil chocolates, the muscle milkshake, and many others that are made with wholesome ingredients. But just remember that at the end of the day, it's still dessert and should be enjoyed in moderation. But that said, I have dessert every single day. Usually it's chocolate protein pudding, some Greek yogurt with fruit, or a protein shake. Sometimes it'll be as simple as an apple with some almond butter or just some frozen fruit out of the freezer. But I always switch it up depending on where my calorie count is, and usually aim for something high in protein. So dessert is my last meal of the day, and that's what a typical diet day looks like for me. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. I'm by no means perfect, but I try to get better every single day, and that's the goal.
I don't care where you stand. I don't care what you believe in. All I want from you is your best. I want you to be ready.
Before I get out of here, let's go through some quick diet tips. The first one is don't overhaul your diet. Add one thing in or take one thing out. Get rid of pop or get rid of fast food. Add in some vegetables. Drink more water. Keep it simple at first. Don't overwhelm yourself and try to change everything all at once. Just start somewhere. Tip number 2 is to stay hydrated. Most overeating comes when you're dehydrated or bored. So keep drinking water and stay active. Go for walks in between meals, and don't hang around the kitchen where you're going to be likely to snack, because I know that's what I'll do. I'll stand in the kitchen and just snack for hours. So that's when I get out of the kitchen, make a wise decision.
Get in the kitchen, make a wise decision.
Tip number 3 is to count your calories and or start a diet journal. And I cannot recommend this one enough because it worked wonders for me and it was a total game changer. So if I was to train any one person today, that would be step number 1, is start tracking what you're currently eating. Don't change anything. Just start tracking it and get a current state of where you are, because you can't get where you're going if you don't know where you are right now. So figure that out, and then we go on from there. Tip number 4 is to avoid buying foods that you tend to overeat. And I'm famous for this one. Like peanut butter, I'll just scoop that right out of the jar. Dates. I had to quit buying dates because they're like sort of healthy. They're like nature's candy, they say. And it's technically a dried fruit, but and I'd go through half of one of them Costco bags full of them suckers. They are so flippin' delicious. So you just got to know that some things you can't control yourself on. Don't buy them. Don't put them in your house. Don't put them in front of your face, because you're setting yourself up for failure.
You lose! Good day, sir!
Tip number 5 is before you enjoy a meal, try to visualize your fitness goals. And is that food that you're about to eat going to bring you closer to your goals or take you further away from them? Actually think about it. And hey, you may eat it anyway, but at least you took a second to think about it. And that's a step in the right direction. Tip number 6 is to find some consistency in your diet. It can't always be a little bit of this bad food today and a little bit of that bad food tomorrow. You have to schedule some set time where you're only eating real food. Otherwise, you'll never fully get that junk out of your system, and you'll just never achieve any sort of consistency with your diet. The final tip is that it's never too late to get started. It took me until age 25 to finally wise up and get serious about my health. My dad was stricken with diabetes and had a leg amputated before he decided to quit smoking, quit drinking, and start eating healthy. He was 55 years old and lost 60 pounds and actually cured his diabetes. So I work with another guy who's right around retirement age who's just now starting to work out and get in shape. He's riding his bike, he's lifting light weights, and taking charge of his health. So change is possible no matter what your age, weight, or fitness level is. Sooner or later, your health is going to become your number 1 priority, so why not start today before it's too late?
Now listen, don't worry about penne, because I know you want penne, but it's only gluten-free. So we'll have the rigatoni.
All right, so that's going to do it for the Wise Eats diet plan. There's so much more to discuss here, and it could go on forever, but those are some of the main points I wanted to hit on. My challenge to you is to take at least one thing from this episode and improve your habits going forward. And actually, let me know what that one thing is in the comments. Let me know what you're going to change going forward to improve your life. I would love to hear about it. So the bottom line with the diet plan is that the more ways you can get whole foods in their most natural states and from good sources, the better you're going to feel and the healthier you're going to be. So with that, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to this channel, and please show your support by leaving a 5-star rating on iTunes. If you're watching on YouTube, click that thumbs up button, which shows you're digging the show, and check out wise-eats.com, where you'll find the YouTube video, transcript, pictures, recipes, and more. Finally, don't forget to sign up for my free newsletter at wisechoicenation.com and instantly receive that approved foods and grocery list. So go do that right now and change your life. I'll see you over there. And until next time, be good to yourself, be good to others, and make wise choices. Welcome to the Wise Eats podcast. For more, here we go. So if you banana bread, coconut, let me run you through a typical day for me as it results. Oh my God. For any of you ladies out there listening, holla. Not at me, though. I'm married. I will stand in the kitchen and sit there and eat until I get my ass out of the kitchen. Oh, man, this is the worst podcast ever.